Hi, I'm John Hallis and I'm going to try and talk you around a couple of laps of Cadwell in the Meganes. And I'll start off with loading my setup. Got 10 laps of fuel. Here I've put the rear downforce down to 1. Steering lock's at 16 degrees. Brake bias 64 front, 36 back. And the brake pressure's 100. And on suspension, I've tried to soften it because it's such a bumpy track. So it's 130 on the front anti-roll bar, 170 on the front tyre pressures, 200 on the front springs. Bump and rebound are both at 2. I'm not quite sure what they do, but I've lowered them anyway. Ride height I've put up to 8, so you can clear some of the bumps and curves without bottoming out. And the front camber is at minus 2.5 degrees. Rear tyres are 170, rear springs 240, 2 and 2 on bump and rebound again, ride height 8 and camber minus 1.5. The advanced I haven't changed at all. Right, I've got my steering wheel at 900 degrees rotation, and I've also used a program called Destroy R Factor to map the in-game wheel so it turns just as much. So it'll probably look a bit strange because the wheel is moving so much, but it does give you some idea how much I'm moving my real steering wheel, if you know what I mean. Right. Right, coming down here you'd usually be going pretty fast in 6th gear. You want to keep over to the right until just as you pass those tyres that I've just gone past on the right, and then start to turn in and try and apex just at the end of this curb here. Don't cut the corner or anything though, because it tends to knock you off a bit. Now this one, if you try and think of this as one continuous corner rather than 2 separate ones, the first apex isn't that important. What you do need to get right is the second one though, because after that you've got a very, very long straight. So if you get a bad exit here, you're going to be struggling all the way down to the next corner. Now it's a weird corner this, because it kind of seems as though you're not going to be able to go through it, but it sort of sucks you in. I can't quite explain what I mean, but anyone who's driven here will know how it feels. So come up here, you want to get yourself as far over to the left as you can, and down to 3rd, and just touch the inside curb, and then start to accelerate out right to the outside, and then keep some steering lock on and turn yourself back in for this one, nice and tight. And up to 5th here. Now you can stay in 5th if you get the line right through here. Just clipping both curbs. Down to 2nd here, and you want to try and apex just where the start of that little triangular section of curb is. That gives you a nice straight exit, so you can use lots of power going through to the next corner. Now here you want down to 2nd, turn in quite early and just sort of clip the inside there. As soon as you've done that left-hander, you need to start to turn right, because when you're going fast your car will be bouncing around everywhere, and if you don't turn nice and early you'll miss this apex on the right here. And when you go over the crest of this hill you have to ease off quite a bit on the throttle, otherwise you'll just spin your wheels, and these are twitchy little swines at the best of times. Now up to 3rd, you should just about hit the limiter here in 3rd, then dab the brake. Not too much brake because you don't want to unsettle it, and here it's just a case of trying to straighten it out as much as you possibly can. I don't think there's much point in trying to make up time here, because it's so easy to make a mistake and completely balls your race up. Now this corner I always do in 2nd, but a lot of people do in 1st. You want to go as tight to the inside as you can, then drift out nice and wide to the left here. Now this one again is a very important bend because you've got a massive straight after it, so you want as good an exit speed as you can. So if you follow around on the inside, you have to be quite patient until you see that piece of Armco straight ahead. Now that's a good indicator of when you can start to put the power down. So I'll try and go a little bit faster this time. Right, turn in there, just touch the inside, and here down to 4th, as far out to the left as you dare, and then you can accelerate through there, gently winding off the lock. And over to the left, 5, 4, 3. Turn in lots there. Third, just dab the brake. I'll try and do a flying lap now, but I'll probably balls it up.
126.78.
Yep. Go for one more.
Alright, that was a 120.84. That was a 119.28.
119. Right, so hopefully that will be of some help to you. One other thing I'd say is when you're going through a corner, try to focus your attention a lot further down the road than you would driving normally in real life. For instance here, your instinct is to, you reach your braking point, brake, and then think, right, where's the apex, and you look for that. If you try and, as soon as you've hit your braking point, then shift your attention to your apex, and then as soon as you're turning into your apex, shift your attention to the exit, you tend to get a much smoother line through corners. This is the thing that all the teachers at the racing school said was one of the most important things. They kept going on and on about where you actually focus your vision, and you want to try and be as smooth and flowing as you possibly can. Anyway, just like to say I feel a complete tool doing this, but hopefully it will be of some help to somebody. Hope you enjoyed it.